Let's jump right in. Welcome, 8th graders, to today's Explainer. We're stepping straight into the writer's workshop to tackle something literally every great writer, from your favorite novelists to top-tier journalists, absolutely has to master. We're talking about the art of taking those messy, rough drafts and transforming them into total masterpieces. It's all about refining your craft, you know?
Now, there's this great piece of wisdom in Proverbs 27:17. It says, "Iron sharpens iron, so a man sharpens the countenance of his friend." Think about a blacksmith for a second, right? A dull piece of iron isn't really doing anyone much good until it's been heated up, hammered out, and intentionally sharpened by another strong piece of iron. Well, that's exactly what our writing process is like. We've got to intentionally sharpen our dull, everyday sentences into piercing, impactful messages that actually connect with our readers. We're sharpening our minds and our words all at the same time.
Okay, here's our roadmap for the workshop. We're going to cover 1. The art of revision. 2. Why revision really matters. 3. How to revise effectively. 4. Real revision examples. 5. Time to practice. And finally, 6. Education with biblical morality.
Let's kick things off with Section 1, the art of revision, seeing your work with new eyes.
So, be honest. When you hear the word revision, do you instantly groan? Most of us do, right? We kind of think it just means we did something wrong on the first try. But here's the actual definition. Revision is the process of making your writing stronger, clearer, and way more interesting for your reader by finding opportunities, not just mistakes. I really want you to completely reframe this in your head. It's not a punishment. Even the absolute best first drafts can get better. It's actually a super exciting opportunity to level up your craft and make sure your voice is heard exactly the way you want it to be.
Moving right along to Section 2, why revision really matters, beyond the classroom walls.
So why do we even bother doing this? What's really cool is the real-world power behind this process. Professional authors? Yeah, they definitely don't just write a book and print it the next day. They revise it multiple times before it ever hits the shelf. Because taking the time to refine your words shows ultimate respect for your reader. It proves you actually care about your message. Practically speaking, it helps you grab attention right out of the gate in your intro and leaves a powerful, lasting impression in your conclusion. And listen, whether you're writing an essay today or a massive business proposal or a speech later in your career, this is an essential, real-life adult skill, for sure.
Which brings us to Section 3, how to revise effectively, your blueprint for success. Here's your step-by-step guide so you don't get completely overwhelmed. Step 1, select a past piece with potential. Grab something from earlier in the year that you think could be better. Step 2, read it start to finish without making changes. Seriously, don't touch a pen, just absorb it. Step 3, mark confusing, repetitive, or underdeveloped spots. And Step 4, this is the real game changer, focus on big changes before spelling. Organization, clarity, that's the good stuff. Don't sweat the commas just yet. That's editing. Revision is structural. Sometimes you'll slash whole sentences or add brand new paragraphs to drive your point home.
Now, when you hit those tricky spots you marked in Step 3, here are the absolutely crucial questions you need to ask yourself. Does my writing match my purpose? Like, am I actually saying what I set out to say? Could my examples be stronger? And does the order actually make sense? If you're answering no to any of these, well, that's your cue to rebuild.
Let's look at Section 4, real revision examples, the before and after makeover. I want to prove to you how wild these big changes can be. Look at the left side here. I like soccer. I mean, okay, it's flat, it's boring, it tells us a fact, but honestly, it doesn't make us care. But look at the right side. The roar of the crowd filled my ears as I lined up for the penalty kick. Wow, right? As a reader, I'm instantly hooked. I am literally on the field with you. We swapped a dull statement for sensory details that grab the reader instantly.
Check out this next one. The old draft says, "We went to the park." Sure, but what kind of park? What did you even do? Now, the revised version, "We spread a blanket under a shady oak tree and unpacked peanut butter sandwiches." See how clarifying those details completely transforms the whole thing? You took a generic statement and painted a vivid, colorful picture right inside your reader's brain.
One more, and this one is all about strengthening transitions. Old version. "We went home, I was tired." Kind of choppy, right? Almost sounds like a robot wrote it. But with a solid revision, it becomes, "After a long afternoon in the park, we headed home, my eyelids heavy with sleep." It connects those ideas so smoothly, flows beautifully, and leaves a way stronger emotional impression. That, right there,
is the magic of revision.
All right, Section 5, time to practice. Your workshop challenge?
Let's do a quick mental check-in. What is the main goal of revision, and how is it different from simply editing? Think back for a second. Remember, editing is fixing the tiny stuff, a misspelled word, a missed comma. But revision, that is big picture. It's about hunting down opportunities to make the structure rock solid, the message crystal clear, and the impact so much deeper.
Try this one. Give one question you might ask yourself when revising. Also, why should you read your work aloud during this process? Maybe you thought of, could my examples be stronger? But what about reading aloud? I absolutely recommend reading your stuff out loud because your ears will catch what your eyes skim right past. If a sentence is clunky, you're going to physically stumble over it when you say it. That's your brain's way of flashing a giant warning sign that you need to revise.
Okay, time for a direct application task. Look at this sentence. I like pizza. I want you to rewrite that into a way more engaging opening line, just like we did with the soccer example. Think about it. The smell of the bubbling cheese, the crunch of the crust, the intense heat of the oven. Tap into those sensory details and transform that basic sentence into something that literally makes my mouth water.
Finally, Section 6, Education with Biblical Morality, the Godly Learner's Mindset.
Here's the core philosophy of the Heroesmart Academy Godly Learner series. Education without morality will hurt. Think about it for a minute. What is the actual point of being incredibly smart, getting straight A's, and being highly educated if you're just going to keep making bad moral choices that end up hurting you and the people around you? Just like a well-structured essay desperately needs a clear purpose, a well-structured life needs a strong moral compass.
Romans 8:6-7 tells us, "For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace." That is a huge promise. True peace of mind belongs to everyone who keeps their mind spiritual and focused on doing what's right. We see this play out every single day. A sharpened mind is an amazing tool, but it absolutely has to be guided by a spiritually grounded heart if you want to find real life and peace.
So, I'm going to leave you with this final provocative thought as you head out of the workshop. How will you use your sharpened, educated mind to make good choices and bring peace to your world today? As you're revising those essays this week, take a moment to review the choices you're making in your own life too. Sharpen your words, sharpen your mind, and keep your heart spiritually focused. Thanks for joining this explainer, and honestly, I cannot wait to read the masterpieces you all create.